Hi everyone, my name is Smriti P. I'm a mentor with Magic and a software engineer at Google, and I was also a mentee a long time ago, back in 2009. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing Ngawang and Namrata here, mentee mentor pair. Let's do some intros first. So, Ngawang, can you give us an intro?
Hi, my name is Ngawang D. I'm currently a sophomore at the Marymount School of New York, and I'm really excited to be studying the neuropsychological anomalies of being a first generation student.
Thank you. And Namrata?
Hi, I'm Namrata. By on the professional front, I'm a neuroscientist by training. Been with Magic for almost now 6 years. Yeah.
Wonderful. So we haven't done the final presentations yet, but I got a sneak preview of the slides of a very interesting project, which you already kind of scratched the surface of, Nawang, in their intro. Can you give a couple sentences more of a summary of your project?
So basically, as a first generation student, I've been really inclined to work hard from my background, and that has kind of pointed me to the direction of kind of understanding how first generation students often feel really pressured to succeed academically, but also in life long term. And so I wanted to one show that this pressure was a real thing within first generation students. So I did a lot of research about that. But then two, I wanted to actively respond to what I found out through my research and do a survey to students asking them how can education and academic institutions be more inclusive and help first generation students.
Very cool. It's such an important topic, and also I imagine hard to get really like quantitative data and analysis on. What was your approach to kind of measuring and trying to understand the impact and stress levels and pressure, as you mentioned?
So at first I wanted to at first obviously felt it myself, but I can't just do data based on how I just feel myself because I know that's not how the real world works. So I did a lot of data onto focusing about I did a lot of I looked at a lot of articles targeted towards first generation students. So I learned how first generation students are more inclined to feel imposter syndrome, anxiety, and they develop a psychological anomalies like borderline personality disorder. And so I wanted to ask people, I did select. So I was actually going to do the process of an IRB, but that got held back momentarily. And so I
Mm,
plan to continue to do that after my presentation because I'm still it's not just for magic that I'm doing this presentation. I'm doing because I actually have a genuine passion for it and it's genuinely want to help shine light to this topic. And so I wanted to ask students do they feel these feelings? I did yes or no questions and I got a lot of responses saying yes, I do feel these inclined feelings. So I did show how students do feel that, and then I was able to ask them how can academic institutions be more welcoming. And a general takeaway of what they said is to provide more targeted resources towards them, but also to not make them feel like they're just an appointment because at the end of the day they're real people. But yeah, it was really sad
right.
to see the responses, but it was really inspiring and it makes me work so hard to research this topic. But yeah.
Right. I mean, in some ways, it's validating your experience and also showing the extent to which it impacts the community. And so it's really important work. And I hope the IRB process I know is super challenging. So hopefully, I'm happy you're energized to continue this work and take it to that next level. Did you get a chance to talk to anyone at school about this project? Were there other folks? Like, who are you thinking of interviewing also, I guess?
So I actually was able to do selective questionnaires to my friends
Mhm.
because that was more of a willingness thing to do. So I asked them a lot because I go to Tibetan school and so that provides me a huge like just a path of first generation students because basically a lot of Tibetan students are practically all first generation students. So I asked a lot of
Mhm.
them and it was more it was more like a selective type of survey because obviously I can't without the IRB being processed or being approved. I obviously can't do that in terms of because I want to make sure it's all ethical. But in
Right.
terms of having just conversing with my friends, I asked them that, and it was just hearing their responses made me feel so validated about my feelings, and it was just really sad. And we had a lot of meaningful conversations based off of
Right.
that those questions. But yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm just so impressed that you're tackling this topic, and it's wonderful to see how we could use science and these STEM tools to push, change and make things better for our community. So
Yeah.
really, really interesting and wonderful work.
Thank
Um,
you.
Namrata, a question for you, because I know you work and you are a huge community-oriented person and probably thinking of similar things. What was it like to work with Ngawang on this? And had you thought about, impact of stress and pressure on first gen people before?
Um, yeah, I think my first student from Mount Mary, I also did IRB with her, and it was
Mhm.
like all finalized, and we even published it in like I think in Medium. We also had a blog, so it takes enormous amount of work. And like I remember talking to her on phone, so we try to do that right now, but as you know, IRB is like very ethical and it is done scientifically. It is not like survey you can just send out the paper and get it done. You have to get it approved because human subjects are involved.
Right, right.
But these are some of the topics I have worked in past, like mental health in teenager. I did that with Medium.
Mhm.
We had a published blog on that one. So it was like, and being a neuroscientist, these are all the topics that is kind of comes handy with the territory. So
Right,
I have read all these articles. I know how to do this IRB, but when Wang came with the topic already prepared, it was like interesting.
right, right, right. Thank you. Was there anything that was surprising for you, Noang, as you were um, talking to people in your community or putting together these questions?
Like what and like one thing that surprised me the most is that like when I was like talking to my friends about this, like it was just like never really like talked about it like specifically, their targeted conversation towards this. And I feel like that just like shows how like alone students feel in this and how much they don't feel seen in this type of area and how like it's not really a validated feeling, you know what I mean? Because like when you have
Yeah,
conversations, you feel validated. And it's just like when I asked these questions towards them, they were just like wow, like I've never really thought about that. And like it's really sad to see like the percentages because I talked to like I like asked like 21 like or I had like 21 people who like answered these questions. And it's just
mhm,
like so sad because it was like around like 90% who said they've like never really talked about it with their like peers or friends. And like you can't even imagine like not even like academically like teachers either. And so it's just like it just really surprised me in terms of like a sad way, but it just like with sad news you always feel more passionate to like help this like type of community, and I think it's like served as a constant like reminder to like keep on doing this because like it's not just a project at the end of the day, like it's for like a community that's like not really like talked about, but yeah.
yeah. Wow, you have such a wonderful and strong attitude about it all.
Thank you.
Really inspiring to see. And I think I mean, this is also a first step in just providing a space and an environment for these people. So
Right.
I am so intrigued and I can't wait to learn more from the final presentation. I'll ask you each one last question, which is I saw a sneak peek, something about riddles that you guys, I don't know if you did this in your meetings or if it was a weekly thing. I think Noang said this was one of her highlights. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so like it's like we have like because like we both like have really busy schedules. It's like so we always have like at Saturday 9 o'clock like Eastern time, and then I think for Namrata that's 8 o'clock in the morning, and so it's really early, and it's like usually like I get right out of bed and then go to my meeting. So it's like my head is not really woken up right away. But then like these riddles they help me like one like reshift my focus, but then two like think like kind of hard because they're like science questions, and it's
Right.
like it was really funny because I actually like applied these to my chemistry like teacher, I told her about it and she was laughing so hard. It was like actually really funny. But it's like I've never gotten these riddles right, but it just like makes me think hard in the morning and I really love them. It's like
That's
highlight.
wonderful. How did you think of this idea, Namrata?
Like it has always been icebreaker for me. Like remember when we have get first meeting, I'm like, okay, how to start the conversation, and that's like, okay, I'm gonna ask you a riddle, and it's gonna
Yeah,
be science oriented. So it's fun. It's like you get acquainted with the situation. You can talk to your mentor, mentee. So it's kind of icebreaker for me, and
yeah.
it is fun. I do this. I do the same thing when at my workplace, at my lab. I'm like, okay, who is ready for the riddle? I do not get it right most of the time, as Noang said. It's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that idea. I might have to steal it. Well, thank you both so much for the interview and congratulations on all of the hard work and, thoughtfulness and everything that have gone into this project. I'm really looking forward to the final presentation. Thank
Thank you
you.
Thank
so
you, Smriti.
much.